weird with a hat on camera? Y'all let me know. It looks like it's weird. Plus the light is right here. Well, right here, this light, and it feels like the top makes it look embarrassing. Anyways, y'all, this video is going to be about Meghan McCain, so make sure you watch the whole video. Hi, welcome to JOA. If you're new to my channel, please click subscribe and click the bell so you'll be the first to know when I upload. I'd really appreciate it if you do subscribe and you click the bell. If you are a business out there and you have a business and you're interested in YouTube advertising, you're interested in my channel specifically, please do email me. And this is for serious inquiries only at joamedia1@gmail.com. That's joamedia1@gmail.com. As you guys all know, I'm unfiltered. I straight my opinion straight up. I keep it honest with you guys, with these celebrities and myself. And I have an icebreaker question. So the icebreaker question is, how old are you? Tell me the age that you are below. I'm 28. I don't know if I look younger or older to y'all, but let me know how old you are in the comments below. And let's get started. Let's talk about Meghan McCain. So today on The View co-host, they basically discussed the whole Rush Limbaugh passing away at 70 years old. You know, he did struggle with cancer. And I want you guys to watch this clip of Meghan McCain specifically talking, and then I'm going to come back with some more.
About you, what are your thoughts about all this?
Well, I used to work in talk radio. I was actually the first woman to host a conservative talk radio show in the top 4 lineup. I was on behind Rush Limbaugh and Sean Hannity. I hosted a show called America Now on the Premier Network. So I knew a lot about Rush Limbaugh. I knew a lot about his work. I also grew up hearing him on the radio quite often. He was an absolute titan of media. He, in the Premier Studios, he actually had a golden microphone that was like solid gold that they had for his studio in Los Angeles whenever he would come in. There you see it right there. He had a loyal following of 15 million followers. I actually think he started the trend of infotainment, which by the way is what we do here on The View, this like sort of hybrid of information and entertainment at the same time. He completely revolutionized the way media was done. He was obviously highly controversial, said many incendiary and insulting things throughout his lifetime. He also was very, very influential in the 1994 Republican Revolution, the Tea Party. He sort of saw Trump coming early and was an early proponent of his. I think what's interesting about Rush Limbaugh is that he tapped into this audience that feels underrepresented in mainstream media. He tapped into the idea that it's only liberals speaking for us, and he really created the model for which all else has spewed forth, both positively and negatively. And by the way, the infotainment isn't just something that the right has co-opted, it's something that Democrats do on MSNBC as well. So I think he will be remembered the way he's being remembered on this show, as a controversial but highly influential, highly powerful figure. And it was just funny. Yesterday I was flipping through the channels and I was watching Fox, and I mean it was like a president had passed. I mean, it was all about Rush Limbaugh dying the entire every show, the entire night, the entire day. And you know, he was someone that certainly left his mark. But then I switched to another channel and there was no mention. So he's as polarizing in death as he was in life.
So I literally don't know what female on television at this point, or just at all, I've never heard a female on television with a great job receiving at minimum $1 million a year salary on a TV show can sit there and say, I'm tired of coming on The View and saying X, Y, and Z. I'm tired of coming on The View and proving that conservatives are good. I'm tired of coming on The View to do this and that. I don't know what person on television has the privilege to even come on TV and say that I'm tired of coming on here and doing my job, and yet still keeping that job, and yet still having that job and not being fired the next day. And I understand she's on a contract. I understand, you know, she does get fired. It's a lawsuit towards ABC, but at the same time, I just literally, she's been saying this for the past 4 years. I don't know what person on TV can literally say, I'm tired of coming on a show and not get fired after their contract ends. Because as you guys all know, it's hard. It's very hard to get on television. It's really hard unless you're John McCain's daughter, or you have some big connection. You have a father that's in the business, or, you know, it's literally just, it's hard. Point blank in the period is literally hard. And there was a conservative on the show. So for her to sit there and say, well, why am I the only conservative on the show? Well, there was Abby Huntsman, but the thing is with Abby, you got her on the show so she could be a puppet to you, so she can make you happier and defend you in a bit. And you never was inclusive to her on the show because you wanted to be the star of the show. For instance, when Elizabeth Hasback was on the show, when you first met her live on television on a show and you had respect for her, like you weren't inclusive with Abby being a conservative, so you didn't really want her on the show, and you guys fought behind the scenes because Abby Huntsman was actually likable, like she had all the likability compared to you, Meghan McCain, so you got jealous of that, and it came to the point where it was kind of like, you know how when they had those little girls on Ellen back in the day, Sophia, Grace, and Rosie, the girl that raps, and then Gracie, the girl that dance, and then at one point the little girl pushed Rosie away because she wanted to rap and show her skills. That literally reminds me of Meghan McCain, except this time Meghan McCain is the blonde girl that's trying to be the star. She's blonde-headed, and Abby Huntsman is the girl that raps with the black hair now. You see what I mean? You know, it's just different hair colors, but the example of them is equivalent because Meghan McCain wanted a sidekick on the show that was conservative, and at the same time, but she wanted to be heard. She wanted her voice to be heard, and it came to the point where Abby Huntsman was tired of that. They were really tired of fighting on The View, and it came to the point where before Abby Huntsman putting her notice in to leave the show to say she's going to work on her father's campaign. Like, who leaves a prominent show to go work on their father's campaign when her father literally didn't need her? He didn't need her. Okay, she left the show because of drama. She left the show because Meghan McCain did admit on Watch What Happens Live that Abby Huntsman and her fought behind the scenes. I want you guys to take a look at this clip, and I'll come back with some more.
Resigned. There was a lot of buzz that there was a feud between the two of you. What can you tell me about that?
Well, thank you for asking me because no one's actually had the courtesy to ask me directly. So I really appreciate it.
I love asking you directly.
Thank you. Anytime.
Yes.
Abby and I have been friends for over 10 years. Our parents were friends in politics. We worked at Fox together. Part of the reason why she came to The View is because we were friends. We are still very good friends. We are very close. I just talked to her yesterday morning. She's campaigning with her dad. I think she was genuinely conflicted about her dad running for governor and her not helping. And that is the reason why she left. We did get in a fight, which is a very small fight, in a friend fight, and all friendships have ups and downs. And it was sort of bizarre for me, and I think bizarre for her, to have the fact that we got in one fight the 2 years we worked together on the show to be, put under dissection in the media, to be weaponized.
Who leaked it? Because
it's cruel. It's very cruel, and it has taken this has been a really, really rough few weeks for me because I didn't want her to go selfishly because I thought she was an amazing co-host, and just having a friend there has been lovely. But it's been really emotionally taxing to have our friendship used this way in the media. It's taken a real toll on me.
Where are the leaks coming from at The View?
I don't know, and I wish it would stop because, again, I think we are working on a very intense show during intense times. I was talking about politics in the commercial break, and I'm just trying to go in and do my job and interview presidential candidates and try and help women of the country decide.
Were you going to resign before Abby resigned? There was a lot of speculation that you were mad because you were going to resign.
No. I first of all, if I was going to resign, there would be no crypticism about it. I would be I'm out. It would not be a long drawn out thing.
So don't sit here and tell us on national television that you want an additional conservative on the show when you just want everything to be about yourself and where you just want a sidekick. You want to be the Howard Stern to the Robert Quivens. You want to be the Wendy Williams to the Charlemagne the God. You want a sidekick attached to you as if you're on the radio. So when you do need that extra defending for your own cases, that's when you can pop up that Abby Huntsman so they could so she can defend you. And for the past, a year and a half that Abby Huntsman was on the show, I think it was a year and a half, don't even seem that long, Abby Huntsman was that sidekick to you. And it was pretty obvious that she was hired on this View because of you, because the girl was not even ready to express her own view. The girl was not personal. She was very reporter-esque. She belonged on Fox, and she at one point didn't even want to be on television because she thought she could never do it. So she don't really have the talent to be on The View or the talent to be very open and personal and down to earth. So Meghan McCain knew that, and she had her as her sidekick, and that's that. Okay, so don't sit here and say that you need a conservative on the show when we had one before, and literally she left because of you. Part of the reason why she left Abby Huntsman was because of you. And it also seemed like she was defending Rush Limbaugh. It also seemed like she was using his death and his controversy as something that's okay when the controversy wasn't. I don't like that they're calling it controversial. Just call it what it is. He was a bigot. He said racial things. Don't call racism controversial. Racism is not controversial. Racism is inhumane. Racism is somebody that belongs in prison because they have a disease in their mind that they feel about somebody based on their DNA rather than their character. That's what racism is. Don't call it controversial. Controversial is me saying that the earth is freaking flat, like Sherry Shepherd said. That could be controversial. That's something controversial, okay? It's not about me saying that, yeah, I don't want to stay here around this neighborhood. There's too many black people here, I don't feel comfortable. That's racist, okay? That's not controversial, okay? So anyways, y'all, so it seemed like she was defending Rush Limbaugh, which she was, because Meghan McCain is a racist, and we all know that, although she denies it. And I don't know why Sunny Hostin tries to deal with this girl. But anyways, I'm done, y'all. Like, I just wanted to come on and talk about that and get your perspective on the whole situation. Just because, and last thing I want to say before I leave, just because I defend her on a story and I agree with her on a story like I did yesterday when she went off on the Andrew Cuomo, the governor of New York, that doesn't mean I like her. That doesn't mean I like her, okay? I'm not biased. I try not to be biased, and I like to look at the story no matter how I feel about the person that's presenting it, all right? So anyways, please do subscribe and click the bell so you'll be the first to know when I upload. Deuces. Yay.